I'm the bread man. Failure to launch, freedom for the first time, and money-hungry mates. It does not disappoint. We are only on episode 2 of 90 Day Fiance, the OG, and it is getting interesting already. We are going to see that some might not be out for the right things, but shocker there. But first, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends, and if you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for being here week after week. Y'all are great. Let's get right into it because we are meeting some other new couples for the first time. And let's be real. I'm starting to see that maybe, just maybe, some might not be in it for the right reasons. But call me crazy. Just call me crazy right now.
I'm a little bit OCD. I like for things to be put back where they belong.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I have night terrors.
Okay.
I frequently need naps, and I fall asleep while I'm eating.
Maybe you should have told him this before he came instead of just in the middle of the night looking at you like, get out, just flipping out. I mean, night terrors can be crazy. I'm sure some of you have had them or known people that have had them. They can be insane. So some of these things, the whole point was she hasn't told him about any of this. Maybe mention some of it because, you know, not like he's going to leave you necessarily, but it might be good to mention to the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with.
I definitely feel a lot of pressure to make this work. I want it to work.
Yes.
I think it will work. If I didn't think that, I would have never gone this far.
Sure, and that's great that you think it will work, but he's got a little bit more at stake than most of the others because the Iranian government doesn't exactly like Americans, not Iranian people, the Iranian government. And we will see that Maddie really does have an affinity for America and really wants to be here. Of course, he is torn between some things, but we will get to that. So yes, the pressure is on you, and you got to understand, he did put a lot on the line to come here. And not only that, but he left his whole family to come here and be with you. So it is a lot of pressure. Ah, the moment. Well, that's, oh, dang, she was like, forget about this dang sign. Well, that's good. At least it's a nice moment. It's always the nice moments you see here when they see each other for the first time. It's always a good thing. It's happy. I hope it lasts.
I really love the sign that Stevie has made for me. In Farsi, when you want to say someone belongs to you, you have to just use M at the end of their name.
Nice.
So she has written Mahdim, which is like my Mahdi.
Nice.
And that felt perfect.
You know what? That I got to give her props for this because she decided that she was going to take it upon herself to try to be a little more culturally sensitive with him and try to show that you're mine, I'm here for you and all that. Good. You know what? Good for her.
But there is like a high risk that I cannot ever go back.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm fine.
And he's struggling. He's struggling with this. The reality is, and he talks about this a little bit more, but if he were to go back to Iran, not that he can't, it's a high risk because if the government was to ever deem that maybe he was even more pro-America or, you know, enjoying his freedom over there, they might arrest him. It's not a good thing and it's a bad position to be in. So he really does take a lot on coming over here, especially considering, you know, his whole family's over there. He's going to want to see them at some point.
What did they say to you?
Oh,
They don't let me.
Oh!
They don't permit them.
You're kidding me. You have
They said
everything.
it will be unfair to let you in
Why?
Oh, what?
for American guys.
What?
Because I'm too handsome.
Gotta love Sarper with the jokes, and he probably said that to the people doing his visa application. That would not shock me at all. But you know, gotta love coming in with the joke. They say, you know, it would be it would be unfair to American men because I am just too dashingly handsome. They would not be able to compete because we know he probably believes that. But it's also funny because he should have his own show. Let's just be honest about this. Him and Shekinah could have their own show. Sarper and Shekinah do LA, and it would probably be just as popular as some of these other 90-day shows.
I am approved.
Aha! Approval!
Yeah.
You made me so scared.
I wonder why.
I got it. You
Yes.
know, I got K1. Finally. Oh my God. It's better than orgasm, you know? Peeing,
What?
orgasm,
What?
and K1.
Knowledge from Sarper. 3 best things. Peeing, orgasm, and K1. Yes!
So I was there. I tried to be as cute as possible.
What?
I mean, that dominant guy, that alpha male
dominant.
guy went away.
It would go.
And the guy, whatever they say, yes,
What is
yes,
that?
Sir, yes, sir, like this.
He's like, yes, yes, sir, yes, sir. That dominant man he disappear. He's gone. I do what I need to do to get visa. Sarper, man, he's something. He's got a whole lot of personality in that guy. I'm the bread man.
People really love this.
All right. I'm just going to say, I love this guy already because every time, and we'll see as we go on, but he intros into rap music every time. Gotta love it. This guy, and he's got some fun stuff about him too, and we'll get to all that. But for some reason, they decide to intro him into rap music. I can get down with some rap music. I ain't mad about it. But like this one, I'm the bread man. Gotta love it.
So it's kind of like this vicious cycle of eating and cooking and eating
Where'd that
and cooking
lead?
and eating and cooking, which, perpetually came on to me as I got older.
Yes, and
Oh my God.
Wow. And I thought first glance at him, like, all right, he's a little bigger guy, but man, when you see the older picture, he lost some weight.
I used to be like 480 pounds. It's insane. I couldn't even tie my shoes at one point. It was so bad. And seeing that every day finally just pushed me to the point where I wanted to lose weight and just get rid of this and feel better.
Absolutely. And when you see that guy, this is awesome. This is amazing. When I see stuff like this, I love it. Someone who took it upon themselves to lose weight, to get healthy, to really be there and be like, you know what, I need to make a change. These are the kind of guys that you want to see in the gym, that you want to be like, hey, can I help you? Or you hope you see someone else who's a little more seasoned, go up to them and try to give them help. You see these big jacked up guys that you think are going to be not the greatest guys in the world and not the nicest because of how jacked up they are. But in reality, they're some of the nicer guys that actually want to walk up to you and say, hey, let me help you. I want to see you do better. That is gym culture. And you know what? It's not toxic like everyone thinks. There are a bunch of punks out there that want to do the wrong thing and want to be mean to people in the gym. But guess what? They usually get drummed out pretty quick.
So I met Joan because I actually fell asleep on a gentleman's shoulder on an airplane.
I'm sorry?
And he turned out to be from Uganda, East
And?
Africa.
What?
He owns a safari company.
What? What? So in essence, he fell asleep on a guy on a plane who owns a safari company who he said sure and came to Africa, and then he met her in a hotel at that point. So he basically fell asleep on a guy on a plane who has a safari company in Africa, and then he took him up on the offer of coming to Africa, and then he met the person he's with now. That's one of two things. Either she saw him as a mark and took the opportunity, or good holy Lord, it was meant to be, because that's insane.
So right now, my current living situation, I'm living at home with my mother.
Serious failure to launch here because he's still living at home. Listen, if you have to move home for one, life situations happen. Sometimes people have to move home. They have a bad situation. They get back out and they live there for a period of time, save some money, whatever. But it doesn't sound like he's ever lived on his own. And this is the interesting thing and also a problem. He doesn't live on his own, and as we'll see going forward, doesn't have much direction. That's going to be a problem for a relationship, especially someone who he claims is doing better over in Uganda than they're going to do in America, and claims she knows it too. So, got to be for love, but the question is she going to accept it?
Scoop everything up that's dirty. I have to clean the bathroom upstairs, straighten out his room when he leaves the room, put out the garbage, finish the dishes in the sink. And
the question has been answered as to why he has not moved out of his mother's house, and the answer is because she does everything for him and treats him like a 5-year-old, still cleaning up, doing his dishes, doing his clothes, doing his laundry, all of that stuff. Yeah, that's going to be a problem, lady, when he's a grown man. Now, she is being a mother, and she's mothering and doing the things that mothers do, but at some point, he's got to realize he's got to be on his own and be independent. And he hasn't learned that yet, clearly.
so Joan got on the plane?
Yeah.
So she's up in the air.
Freaking out, man. Internally, I'm on fire. What is your thoughts on all this? Like, how do you feel about everything, Mom?
What?
It'll be nice. It'll be exciting.
So he's just asking her thoughts, but the girl's already on the plane coming over and going to live in the house with you and your parents. This seems like a bad timing issue.
I can't do that to her. That's not right.
What?
We've waited, 7 months almost to be together again and for her to come here and to sleep in a separate room. It's crazy,
No, it's not crazy. I hate to break it to you. You live in your parents' house. What they say still goes. Doesn't matter if you're 57 years old. Mom got the rules. That is part of the problem with living at home when you're a grown man. maybe you need to learn this. It's not a question of, hey, do you think it's okay? And I don't even know why the mom went into the, to ask the question of, maybe what about living in separate rooms? No, you get to say you're living in separate rooms. You don't want to do that? Sorry, I don't have a place for you. That's how it works. They're still your parents. Also why you don't want to be an adult living at home. But he seems to have some other problems, which is why we have failure to launch with him. I got some questions about this lady, but I have to say, that's a cute kid. They made a really cute baby, so plenty of questions going on about the actual lady, about Mina herself, but the baby's a cute baby. I'm just saying. Oh, many men. So she's saying many men could have bought her all the things and treat her like a princess. Okay, but none of them could have given her a family like Mark did. I'm going to venture to say she was with other men before she got pregnant. Maybe she cut it off after she got pregnant, but it sounds to me like she was just waiting for someone to get her pregnant to potentially lock them down. That's what it's coming off as, saying, I have all these other men that could have given me all these things, but he's the one that gave me a baby. And now she's talking about a second baby. I don't think this is for love. Just saying. I'm going to say it's not for love. But it's not like there's a million red flags or anything.
I was devastated that her son isn't able to come.
What?
So if the passport for Clayton doesn't come soon, there's a good chance that Mina will go back.
Okay, but she's still coming. So her son had a passport. It didn't get there in time. And she left her son there and still came over here. But if it doesn't get there, she may have to go back. This doesn't make sense at all and does not scream a mother prioritizing her child. Instead, you left your child behind in Paris to come over here.
It's been such a long day for me.
Ah, yes.
And I was super tired, but these boys are full of energy.
No, that's boys for you. See, this is the problem. This is the one thing most people don't seem to realize nowadays. Boys have a ton of energy. They don't know what to do with that energy. Schools and things like that are not built for boys. So unfortunately, they do a lot of things like, oh, they might have ADHD, let's put them on medication, when in reality, a lot of times, boys are just boys, and they need to be such. Frustrating? Yes. I know, I am one, and I wasn't even a super hyper one. But, yes, frustrating needless to say, but that's just the way it is. Juan should know this, and deep down, he does. But he's like, I didn't want the ready-made family right away, I just want to sleep. Well, actually, he claims he's okay with it, but right now he's probably tired from the flight and a little overwhelmed.
But all the things I went through when I was a kid, it makes me want to be a good father for my son, a good stepfather.
That's good. And that is definitely the right attitude to take. Talking about his father passed, and once he passed, his brother and his mother had to go to work, and it was a different upbringing. So he wants to be a really good father and stepfather. I hope he carries that attitude in and doesn't kind of let the overwhelmed nature of it get the best of him, because I think he could be a good father if he keeps that in mind all the time.
You are not, babe. You are not. But I can understand. You have the victory. I tried to convince you for 2 years.
I tried to convince you. You have victory. You win. I hate to break it to you, but you win. You are not stressed. You have the victory. It's like you won this round. Hopefully it lasts. He doesn't get over there and want to jet back to Turkey, though.
Onun randevusuna gittim.
Oh, he's just telling me he went to the appointment for the K1 visa. Oh, the face says it all. Look at the mom's face. She's like, shocked, I say. Problem was, his logic was, if I don't get approved, why stress them out? Okay, I understand that. Problem is, if you do get approved, now you have to tell them, and I gotta leave very soon.
Chose le plus dur que j'ai pu faire, c'est de laisser Clayton avec ma sœur à Paris.
So hard.
C'est vraiment... Ça m'a vraiment déchiré le cœur.
It's torn your heart apart, but not so much. And then she goes on to say that he even said things like, please come back for me. And, Mina is your favorite, in so many words and things like that. And you still chose to leave? I mean, I hate to break it to you. They want to explain it away by saying, oh, his passport wasn't there, and oh, my visa's only good for so long. That's true, but then you reapply for the visa. Even if it takes a year or whatever the case may be, I'm sorry, but you're leaving your child behind, and you were going to say, oh, it hurts you so bad. Well, they're still there, and they're thinking you kind of abandoned them, whether they said that explicitly or not.
I just need sleep. Maybe you give me massage, Mark. Why not?
Massage? Okay.
Massage.
Yeah, great.
With champagne.
Yeah. Maybe 1 year old baby.
Oh, she means that. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we forgot about Clayton already. We forgot about Clayton. On to the next baby. We're going to go ahead and make another one and do super lockdown. Look, she is screaming out red flags all over the place, and it only gets worse for her. She does not give off the aura of, I want to be with you because I love you. Greg Dance Party. Gotta love it. Every time he comes on. I told you, every time he comes on, they're hitting it with the rap music.
A typical 9 to 5. Plumbing is just a means to an end.
What?
You know, it's not something
What
I'm
do you
very
do?
passionate about.
Huh?
Right now, my customers are just friends and family mainly, and also like friends of friends.
This is the problem. He's talking about the same thing. He had the whole bread thing, the baking thing that he's working on, but not really working on. And then now you're talking about plumbing. It's just kind of a means to an end. But my customers are really only friends and family. You have nothing that you're really doing to provide. That's a problem.
Have that really be your main
Talking about the baking business.
That is my plan.
Don't get me wrong. Those loaves of bread he made looked pretty good. Just saying.
I'm putting a lot of emphasis on a lot of.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Like putting all my eggs in one basket, I guess.
All your eggs in one basket while you self-admitted that you're not even putting the full effort into it.
Peak, you know. So that's really scary. That is definitely scary, and it's something that I think about constantly.
Yeah. Okay. Big scary, but what are you going to do about it?
You need to grow up a little bit.
Yes.
I just never really took my life serious, I guess, in the fact that I need a career, I need to do this. I guess I'm kind of stuck in that young mentality my entire life.
That's called immature. Everyone has to get to that point of career to think, how am I going to provide? How am I going to do this for my family? Unfortunately, he has not gotten there. And that's a big problem. You can have something you love to do, but you still have to provide for your family. I absolutely love to do these videos. I love the whole process. I love watching the show. I love editing the videos. I love putting it out there. Y'all are amazing. Please follow. But I have to have a way to provide for my family, and that always has to come first. Always. He is not in that mindset. You have to have the mindset of, I am going to take care of my family no matter what. Doesn't matter if I'm doing something I don't like to do. Sorry, doesn't matter. You have to do what you have to do to provide. And you're bringing her over here, but you don't have a plan in place? That's a big problem.
I feel like I should have took things more serious, but
yeah,
that's where I'm at right now, and that's the reality.
Yes, it is a reality. And, you know, I'm sorry he's getting emotional. That sucks. But you have to grow up at some point, and your mother is not helping by babying you still when you're, I can't remember what age it said he was, but I believe he's in his 30s. So this is a big problem, and this is one reason why he got there. However, it's not on her. You are an adult now. You need to take responsibility.
Jess and the boys like to play this game called I Spy. But the only thing they were spotting was like cows.
and you're going to Wyoming, so what do you think is going to be there? Nothing but cows and cow pies. Sounds like a good rockin' time. Now, don't get me wrong. I love land and sea and all that out there, so ain't nothing to me. But for someone like Juan, who's come from that tropical environment and cruise ships and all that, this is probably culture shock.
Go to Jane Liquor.
I love the small town.
If you peek
down
that way, there's our movie theater. You see the Wyoming movie theater.
Now that is a movie theater right there. You gotta love that. That's where you're going to be going on your date night. There is one theater in there, maybe two if you're lucky, and they show movies after they've been out for a month, probably. That's how they work. But you know what? Those are great experiences too, so don't hate on the small town movie theaters.
Got this, like, you really need to be grateful.
Oh, yes.
There's no big
all the
deal
signs
about it. Like, I don't have no problem with the messages. But I think there's a lot of messages, and it might be too much, I think.
Like, I don't know why you need the dream in wooden sign on the wall. I don't understand. There's a lot of signs. I don't know how positive I can be. He's like, can I please go back to the cruise ship now? That's what Juan's thinking right now.
No door.
No door.
What?
Doorless.
Doorless bedroom.
Oh, come on.
Don't know much about American houses. But I don't see much privacy around here, you know?
Oh, it gets worse in their house, Juan. And that's the worst part is like, yes, kids, they come banging on the door, they come running in, all that, but you can still have doors. She doesn't even have it. They're like in the living room is where their bed is. The boys seem to have their own room there with the bathroom in there. It's a weird setup. You could definitely work some doors in there for sure if you were going to have this as your room. I get there's more space, so maybe it would end up being nicer, but at least do some pull doors or something, some pocket door. I don't know. I'm not a contractor, but all I know is Juan was trying to build some stuff over in the other country at the other house and try to remodel it and everything. So maybe he can work out the door situation.
It doesn't work too good though.
It works fine.
What?
I need privacy, and I think we need to find a better solution.
When you were on the ship, there wasn't any privacy.
Okay, that is a BS thing she just said. When you're on a cruise ship, yeah, and he also didn't have that expectation of privacy like you have in your own home, where you're saying the bathroom, the door doesn't work. You have to walk through the boys' room to get to the shower. You have no doors on your bedroom. You can have some expectation of privacy in the sense of if I walk in my room, I can close the door, while also being like, but the kids might run in at any time because they're kids and that's what they do. But you just took that away by saying, well, what are you talking about? There's no doors. That's just how it is. Acting like you don't understand. Come on, lady. You've been living like that a little too long.
It's like we're all sleeping in the same room.
I mean, as a parent, you'll soon learn, there's just not a ton of privacy.
Now, that's not untrue. There is not a ton of privacy, but it is like they're all sleeping in one room, and that can be changed a little bit. She's not even trying to be like, you know what, we can work on some of this. You're right, it is kind of like that because she's so used to it, and I get that part. But it's not exactly the norm either.
That you're going to have a party which is not separated, they will arrest you.
Talking about Iran.
Is it okay to walk as a girl at this time of the night?
I wouldn't, but yeah, mostly.
He's shocked by the freedom.
The way people wear clothes, because we have dress codes everywhere, and you cannot choose how you wear.
I mean, he is having some serious culture shock here, and, rightfully so. He's looking at that like, they're allowed to wear that? Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of people out there who wear stuff that we might look at and be like, why are you wearing that? But it's not a dress code. You still have the option to do it because of the freedom in the United States. Freedom he's never known. So he's having a serious shock here, like, what is going on? This is okay? This is okay? A woman can walk by herself at night? Maybe not recommended, but can do? Yes, it's not against the law.
Whatever you love, America gives you the best taste of that, and it's super cool to me.
He loves it. I like this guy. Of course, he's still going to have a struggle with the cultural issues, more so, not so much adapting with the freedom, but the fact that his parents are still back there, his family's still back there, and it's not as easy to get back to them. And, of course, he's going to miss his own culture. It's going to happen.
Being free and just so powerful, in my whole life, it was always...
Listen to this right here. This is powerful.
On fire, or people would walk on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Every time he's seen an American flag over in Iran, he's saying that it's either been on fire or people are walking over. This is the first time he's seen it, in the free setting. And that's he's getting actual emotional, with this. It's it's a very powerful hit for him to see that freedom that he's never really experienced and only seen a ton of hate towards America in his country.
Revolution of Iran. And now that embassy is a museum. And
no embassy there, but now it's a museum.
Pictures.
Yeah, the flag of the U.S. there is torn apart, and it's not cool.
I mean, look, he's really struggling with that.
This is the very first time that I'm just looking at one, which is being free and
like you.
Yeah.
That's he is really having a moment. This is the one thing about this show is you don't see a ton of genuine emotion, but him having that moment of seeing freedom, seeing the American flag, saying, I have only seen it on fire. I have only seen it in a museum tattered, ripped, all of that. And this is the time where I'm actually seeing it flying free. It's very symbolic for him right now. He's gotten to that free place. It's really crazy. It's really a nice moment because you don't see a ton of emotion or real emotion. And this comes off as genuine. I just hope they don't end up being super volatile because after all that, it would be really bad if they just completely break down.
That there's always a risk for Iranians who come to the U.S. to go back to Iran and get arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's always a possibility if the Iranian government thinks that you're doing something wrong or thinks that you're doing something for the Americans or thinks you're too pro-American. Yeah, they could always do that. And so it's always a scary thing. And that's what he's talking about, being scared of going back. Doesn't mean it will happen, but it's the possibility of it that's scaring him.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If one day I want to go back to my country and there is a chance that they won't let me exit the country anymore,
yeah.
Would you let me do that?
So, interesting question, because he's saying if there's a chance they won't let me exit. There's always a chance, whether that would get better, maybe, who knows. But he's saying, would you let me do that? Keep in mind, his entire family is over there. So that's an interesting question to ask, would you let me? I mean, you can do what you want. It's hard to say you can't go see your family. Obviously, knowing the risks, it might be a tough decision to make. But there's no reason she should say, no, you could never do that. That would be ridiculous.
It's shocking to hear Maddie say that he might possibly want to go back within the first
shocking?
hours of being
Really?
here. And honestly, it hurts.
Why? Why does that hurt you? He just left everything he knows to come over here to be with you. I haven't seen anything right now other than him loving the freedom aspect that says, I only came over here for this. He looks like he's more torn up that he came over here at all. I think it was more of a struggle. At least it appears that way right now. And you're going to say it hurts that he's saying he might want to go back at some point. His whole family is there. This is normal. It would be the same thing if you went to a different country saying to him, if I want to go visit or something like that, this is tough. I might want to go see my family. Difference is maybe it's a little more volatile for him, but you got to understand where he's coming from. There's no reason you saying you're shocked. That's just dumb.
Düğünde olamayacaksınız.
What?
Yani olursa.
So his parents were asking if they can go to the wedding, and he's saying, no, you're not going to be able to come to the wedding because there's no way you'll be able to go there because of visa issues. I don't know what he's saying there. I don't know why they wouldn't necessarily be able to try to get a visa, but he's saying no outright. I think that's probably the hardest thing. They're not going to be able to be a part of his wedding.
Well, it
feels lonely. Sure.
Quand Marquis sera pas
Yeah,
là,
like he's going to do often.
crochet, je crois.
Yeah.
Je sais pas.
Okay, but you know that his job is being a private jet pilot and he goes all over and has to be gone for days at a time. You had to know that. Now you're saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be lonely. This was kind of part of it. And already she's like, I'm not going to be happy.
It's just because Jack's room,
J'ai trouvé la surprise dans la chambre. J'ai trouvé une photo de famille avec son ex-femme.
Interesting thing about that. Listen, so maybe at some point, like, you don't have pictures of your ex-wife up. Sure, that might be a little tough. At the same time, he's trying to thread the needle. This was one of his kids' rooms, and he hasn't had anyone there. So not thinking to take down a picture that has your kids in it, don't get upset about that. That's just kind of ridiculous.
New furniture, we can change things. We'll get the
Trying to make her
Parisian style
happy
in here,
nonstop already.
I need to move in the city.
And already saying, I need to move to the city. How is this guy who has his own private jet, who has his own private hangar on his own runway, of course there's other houses on it, how are you going to get him to move to a city? He has everything there. This guy is not going to want to move to a city, although you're going to have him upend everything he knows and loves because of that. You could have stayed in Paris for that, lady.
This is not big space. This is not just for
What?
my shoes.
He's giving you the whole closet.
For shower.
Already the diva behavior is coming out. This is not going to be good for this guy. He's an idiot.
Je vois la maison, mais il y a beaucoup de choses que je dois changer. Une maison d'un homme solitaire.
Yeah, because he's
Et
been
j'ai besoin de
alone.
retaper tout.
See, this is the problem. Is she's wanting to come in and take control, and she even says at some point, "You may be the boss in the plane, but I'm the boss in the house. You just got there. Yeah, okay, fine. It's kind of like got the Bachelor feel because he's lived alone for so long. But damn, lady, talking about I need to change everything. I don't know how to tell you this, but relationships about compromise. Why don't you talk to him about it instead of being like, oh, I'm just going to change absolutely everything. I guarantee it's not going to be something he likes, even if he lies to you and says he does.
I don't have the problem for open mind. I stay with you for life. This is true.
Sure.
This I say for you.
But you convinced me to move somewhere.
No, I don't stay here.
First day here, you tell me you're not staying.
I'll stay with you for life, but I'm not going to stay. She's already she's gone from I'm going to redecorate to I want to move. Now, she's going to have him upend his life to make comfort for her instead of being like, let me try it out. She's saying, oh, I'll try it for 6 months. She's not trying it all. She's already made up her mind. She's got the personality that she's not actually going to give it a shot. And now he's a pilot with a private run. I can't emphasize this enough. With his own plane and hangar there, how do you expect him to live in the city? You're going to have him sell everything to buy you some more shoes or something. This lady wants one thing, and it ain't love.
Ni pour les enfants. Essayez de lui donner 6
She's
mois.
not. She's lying.
Mais
there it is right there.
S'il y a une possibilité qui paraît de partir demain, je saute, je pars sans regret, sans réfléchir.
If I have to leave tomorrow, I do it without regrets and without hesitation. That is absolutely ridiculous. But that's where she's at. She doesn't care about him. She's not really even held up on her son, who she was all crying about. But now she's like, oh, what? My son? What? She just doesn't even act like she remembers. Now it's like, how can I make myself comfortable here? Not anyone else, not compromise, not talking about it. How can I do what I want to do? This is not going to be a marriage that lasts, or he's going to be in a miserable marriage. She is definitely trying to lock him down with children. She already did, and she's talking about a second one. And he's the idiot who decided, this is a good idea and I'm doing it for love. In reality, none of it's real, all of it's fake. This is all of it's fake love, that is. And she is out for something that is not love, if you can see that. The truth is unless he gains some sense, he's going to give up everything he likes for her, and it's still not going to make her happy. That's where it's going to be at. But we will see how that plays out. Hopefully he won't sell his plane, because he's got a nice setup there, or his hangar, or his house. To be determined, but we will see. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends. If you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. I definitely appreciate all the support. Y'all are awesome, and I will see y'all next time.